I'm like, yo, like, listen, man. I see my groceries is $20 more. Don't think I don't notice that. You know what I mean? And you talking about putting more tariffs, going to get laws from 1807 and all type. I'm like, okay. Sooner or later you gotta burn out with what you're doing. So I want to see what you can create, because you can't sustain what you're doing for 4 years, because it's going to be no more. It's going to be nothing left to cut.
Well, I mean, according to him, there's a plan. So there's a, you know, if you look at what he's saying, there's a burnout, and then there's
I need to see.
recovery.
I need to see their plan, because if your plan to make America great again, great for who? What time period you talking about?
That's the question
So,
right there.
So
Great for who?
like the abortion stuff, that don't got nothing to do with us. They got negative population growth. So that's why they pulling all the law, because they would say black, no, it was your women getting all those abortions. That's why that's why y'all dying out as a people. And we looking like, oh, they doing this. No, they doing that for their own people, for their own survival. Why you think Elon Musk got all those kids? Right, it's some movement that they a part of. I forgot it to lose me right now, but yeah, to have more kids, like that's their thing. We gotta have more kids. So if you got negative population growth over here for white people, negative population growth in their home continent, which is Europe, right? They scared. So they technically what they doing is reactionary, right? They doing is reactionary, and we looking like, oh, they hurting us. No, they're trying to survive.
Yeah, well,
Right?
there's layers to that, because, you know, like the Trump administration right now is like, you know, trying to privatize a lot of the necessities that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? But now that's what I'm saying. You know, like gutting out the Board of Education, right? You know, or the Department of Education. But we, as a nation, have already come to the conclusion that we need to homeschool our children. But we, as a whole, haven't implemented that. So many of us have, you know, have taken advantage of being citizens and become, you know, like have become seduced by the privileges and benefits of the government. So now that they're taking them away, now you kind of asked out now.
But is they taking them away? Because if you look at it, the Department of Education don't fund states like on the state level, right? They give a small amount of funding for certain things. States, so they saying that technically, and they're always supposed to be states' rights over federal rights. This is why each state has its own constitution, right? The federal government technically is supposed to be like a mediator, organizer, and the federal government really supposed to be dealing with international commerce, right?
That's a fact.
So the things that they are doing, right? You have to look why, right? Because their children don't go to public schools, right? You know what I mean? So, how many billionaires are in his administration, right?
That's a good question.
So, right, and what are they there for? Just like, why is Elon Musk there, right? Why did he spend $270 million to help Trump get elected, right? You know what I mean? Why is you're not even American, right? So you can't be the president if you was not born in America. That's just why Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't run for president. He can only be governor, right? So this person, Elon Musk, right? He grew up in apartheid, right? He grew up in apartheid.
And his family benefited from it.
Of course, right? Trump grandfather is a German, right? There's pictures of his father, either his father or his grandfather, at Klan's rally. black and white pictures, right? But people don't see that because they see Trump is from New York, Trump is from Queens, right?
They don't go back. They don't trace it all the way back.
So that white nationalistic ideology already been there. So it's no coincidence that he would link with an Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is a sucker. He supposed to be this genius. As soon as you get frustrated, I don't know why people talking about me. What? You supposed to be this great thinker or whatever they say, or probably a great thief, because I'm pretty sure you stole
Absolutely.
people's ideas, right? But they weak men, right? They weak men. Like some of them other dudes, like Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, all these dudes don't get women because they gay, right? So, and I'm pretty sure they probably couldn't get women, so they turned gay, right? So now it's like you got these dudes operating at some of the highest levels in technology, and they not even thinking like men, right?
By design.
Right? So cool. So now, when you see, okay, if you're not thinking a certain way, how can I trust your project, right? That's like they're trying to, which I think is crazy, but that's just me, right? They're trying to hook up build a nuclear power plant and hook the AI up to it.
So that it could empower the AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And you know how long nuclear power lasts, right? It's cheap, it's fuel, but it lasts a long time. So now, okay, whenever they master quantum chips, right? Because they keep shutting down for some reason. They never going to tell us the real reason, but we know you don't spend hundreds of $billions into a project and just shut it down without some shit that even spooked you cats, right? They said Google just shut down their quantum physics program, quantum chip program, right? Quantum chip's supposed to be like, like when you do the research and what it could do, you be like, wow, like, but they don't know everything because we don't know everything, right? And I think that goes all the way back to when they was burning the libraries in Egypt. They was burning the Mayan and Aztec libraries, right? Because you got to think, whatever books they had was one of a kind on some type of paper, papyrus, or some type of bark. So now if you burnt, in the name of Christianity, if you burnt all this information,
threatening their rule, basically.
No, they was ignorant, right? So they was ignorant. So if you don't, so imagine the amount of knowledge we lost and where we could be as a society, right? To this day, they don't know how these pyramids, how they got these big stones that's cut with precision without having lasers. They every time you turn around, they done found something else under. Like, you still digging underneath that dirt, that desert, and you still finding stuff, right? So we don't really know what they really found because we're not the ones that's doing the digging. Right? So boom. Then it's a pyramid in China. It's a pyramid over here. So somehow that tells you that these cultures some way had to be connected, right? But I can't let you really put the two and two together.
Why you not ringing the doorbell, man? Like I told you.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot, G. It's a lot, G. So they diabolical, and if it's left up to them, they gonna destroy the planet, and destroy us along with it.
Well, and that's why I'm more so for us to get our shit together. Right, meaning like the politics of Trump and the politics of people that was running against Trump to get into the office. That's we historically keep getting asked to choose the lesser of two evils, which is evil in itself, right? But a lot of times we don't have no fight, have no dog in that fight because we not together on a local level. We don't know like that politics. We don't know like you talk about them going into the around the world doing whatever they doing all around the world. We don't know that. But if we always like get together, like this knowledge like in terms of like 120, it connects us to that. But a lot of us don't even acknowledge that.
See, I think that when you look at, I saw a post the other day, right? It says that people that's 60 years and under are the first people, black people, that experience full rights in this country.
That experience full
rights. Right? So when was this?
That's propaganda.
No, when was the civil rights laws passed?
That's what the equality cycle is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you had Jim Crow, so we didn't have certain rights.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? So
I wonder what premises are you saying this person?
So saying that, like, you know, the restrictions, Jim Crow was a real system. Right? Segregation was a real system. Right? We didn't have so-called equal rights. You know what I mean? So I said, wow, that's deep. And if you look at that, we born in the 70s, right? All this stuff just happened before we was born, right? So now, I think that we have to give ourselves some grace, right? We're not, me personally, right? Democrat, Republican, right? You know what I mean? Like that don't serve our interests, right? I know that, right? You know what I mean? This is why I'm not neither none. But I do think that, you know, we have to create something that will serve our interests.
You must do your own research, as I did.
INFMEGA did this.